So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roma Theory. We're back speaking about another game. Now, this is a classic, dark, obscure game which we could easily underestimate. And I am worried for this game. We can easily underestimate this game. And I think, just like we discussed against Inter Milan, where we faced them, in my opinion, in the worst timing ever, and then we ended up winning. But I think the time we faced Inter Milan was the worst timing ever, and I think the same discussion. Again, I need to open. This is insane. I need to open the door. My family doesn't get the keys. It's insane, lads. It's insane. My family is mental. Right. The timing that we face Sampdoria, in my opinion, is the worst timing ever. Now, I say this because when you face teams which are fighting to not get relegated, and you're facing them in a time period when they just changed their manager, and this is the first game with their new manager. You face them at home, in front of fans who need revenge. And you face a team which, in my opinion, should not be playing to not get relegated. Now, we're speaking of a team which I think is not well organized, but has got the talent to not be in the relegation zone, if you see what I mean. I think clubs like Lecce, clubs like Empoli, or worse, I've got worse players than Sampdoria. But the way the club is organized makes them, right now, in the last position of this Serie A. So I think we're facing them in the worst timing ever. And part of this is due to the fact that they've just got a new manager. And this is a manager which Mourinho knows really well. And this is a manager which, knows Mourinho really well. We're speaking about the old Red Star Belgrade manager, Dejan Stankovic, and he's he's a manager with quite a similar style to Mourinho, if you ask me. He's one of those managers which, doesn't have amazing style to watch, but is really known to be aggressive, and just, tough to beat. And I think, this is going to be a match which we will 100% underestimate. Now, I hope I'm wrong when I say that we won't lose points on Monday, because this is another one of those games which we really need to keep on dragging, keep on getting 3 points. And if we don't get 3 points, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because, top 4 is if we don't get 3 points against Sampdoria, then we're already imposing ourselves a massive obstacle to try not to get top 4. But also, not getting 3 points against Sampdoria means another massive bunch of criticisms thrown to us. And that can have repercussions. So Monday is a game where we have to win, where we just need to think about winning. And yes, we're facing them in a tough time, because they are living a tough time. And that's why the fact that they're last in the league, the fact that they are the worst team in the Serie A right now, is gonna make us underestimate this match. I know these players too well. It's something about Roma's DNA which makes us underestimate these games. But then it's these games where we lose points. Now, don't get me wrong. Against Lecce, we were lucky. We have to change the way we play, or otherwise, against Sampdoria, we will not get 3 points. And it's a must to get 3 points. Now, speaking about the players they have. Now, the most valuable player they have is obviously Harry Winks, coming from Tottenham, on loan from Tottenham, but he's actually injured. And another player which they have, which will be unavailable for this match, is Jason Murillo in defense, which lowers their defensive talent, their defensive capacities. But obviously, the player which sticks out, the 2 players which stick out in my opinion, are Caputo, which we've discussed last year. Yes, is not living the best of moments. In fact, I'm not even sure if he scored any goals this season, but he's a striker. He's an average striker which knows when and how to put the ball at the back of the net. He is a classic, kind of like Benteke striker, you know, just to give you an example. Benteke isn't amazing. Benteke's average, bang average. But Benteke knows how to score and will score if he has the chances gifted to him. Same exact definition around Caputo. Caputo's a bang average player. But if the defense doesn't collaborate, if the defense doesn't play well, and if he has good chances, he's not going to miss them. So Caputo is the player to watch. And I also think they've got a player which we know really well and which I'm a big fan of. Now, I'm speaking about Villar. Villar is a player which I hope we get back to Roma. I love Villar. The way he just loves touching the ball, the way he just, the way he's so confident when it comes to playing with the ball beneath his feet. He's a classic Spanish player. Loves that tiki-taka. Loves to play with the ball beneath his feet. I really admire him. And I loved him at Roma. Now, he's on loan. He is a Roma player. He's on loan to Sampdoria. Hopefully, we get him back. But Mourinho doesn't like him. I'm really, we really don't. He doesn't like him. I'd 100% get him back, but I wouldn't. I mean, I would. No, what I'm saying is I would, but Mourinho will not get him back. Because I think, and I agree, I think Villar isn't a Jose-style play. Villar isn't aggressive at all. But that's what I'm saying. I think, on a long term, I think Villar will get back to Roma. Right now, I'm not too sure, because Mourinho doesn't like him. But I really like Villar. And I hope he can get back playing with Sampdoria. Hopefully save themselves from relegation, because otherwise, that won't be great for him. But anyways, speaking about us, we're getting to this game with a lot of responsibilities in the Europa League, because we're coming from a Europa League match, we're coming from Spain and all of that. So a lot of responsibilities when it comes to the Europa League. But this obviously isn't a Europa League game. This is a Serie A game. And as much as we have to think about both things, and as much as we're in a position where it makes us want to focus on Europa League because we are in a risky position, we just have to detach from Europa League for some days and think about the Serie A. Because the problem with having so many competitions is exactly this: balancing out your own attentions. Because I can easily, the fact that we're playing Helsinki on Thursday and the fact that we're in a risky position in our Europa League group stage makes me think that the team will underestimate this game because they're too scared and they're already thinking about that Helsinki game on Thursday. No. And that's the problem with playing in many tournaments. We have to detach from Europa League for 1 week, for one game, and get back playing in the Serie A. We have to keep the position we're in. We have got teams which are better than us and will get before us. Napoli will get before us in the Serie A, and AC Milan will get before us in the Serie A. It's going to be a big fight between us, between Juventus, between Inter Milan, between Lazio, between Atalanta, which is playing really well. It's a constant fight. And in this constant fight, the moment one of these teams lose a match, it's not done, because this is a sport which can change in a matter of matches, but you are imposing really hard obstacles to yourself, especially when you're playing a club like Sampdoria. If you want to fight for top 4, you have to get 3 points on Monday. But these 3 points are not guaranteed. This is exactly what I'm saying. We need to fight for these 3 points, and we need to focus on the game, because it's a very important game. I'd say it's as equally as important as our match on Thursday. Every match is the same importance. But for some players and for some people, it might seem that one is more important than the other, which means we underestimate one. No. Attention and interests in different tournaments needs to be shared, equally shared. And Monday's game will be a tough game without a doubt. Now, moving on to my predicted 11. Again, probably the most interesting part. I mean, yeah, you look at this. And you're like, no Tammy. And you're like, Belotti in, Tammy out. And that's exactly what I think will happen. I think Belotti will start, not because... I mean, yes, Belotti deserves it way more than Tammy. And that's the reason why I think he'll start. Because as much as it could be argued, yes, that Tammy has to start because he needs that goal. And if he, if he continues not to get that goal, his form will not get better. That can be an argument. But another thing which can be said, which you can link back to an example from last season, is that you can put, Jose could also consider leaving Tammy out for some games, just like he did with Nico last season, and Nico's changed attitude. Tammy needs to change his attitude. Tammy needs to change something inside his head. So, yes, as much as I would love to get him back scoring, it could also be argued that he needs a rest. He needs a mental rest. And I also think Belotti at this stage, I'm not downgrading Tammy's performance against Betis. Because I think, Tammy gave a contribution to that goal. We cannot, we can't not give credit to Tammy for that goal. Because yes, Tammy was about 25% contributing to that goal. But the contribution was there. So we can't downgrade Tammy. But right now, at time of speaking, if you compare Belotti and Tammy, I think Belotti deserves it more. And Belotti shows that he deserves it more than Tammy. Belotti will start, in my opinion. And, the two can start together again. But that means that one between Pele or Nico doesn't start. Because, to be honest, I don't really think we will start with Belotti, Tammy, and Nico together. That's very unbalanced. So I'm going with Rui Patricio, Ibanez, Smalling, and Mancini as usual. Spina and Zalewski on the two sides. Korsdorp will, the next two training sessions, so tomorrow and on Monday morning, will be decisive to see if Korsdorp can start this game. Korsdorp will 90% get back, will get a call up, but maybe he's not going to start this. Maybe he can. The last second, maybe we'll see Korsdorp in the squad. But what Jose's trying is he's trying to see these next two training sessions, give Korsdorp a call up on Monday, and then start Korsdorp against Napoli next Sunday. So Korsdorp's back, most probably in the group squad, but won't start in my opinion. Zalewski and Spina to start again. Zalewski needs to give continuity to that good performance against Betis. Spina needs something because he just needs a spark. A defensive spark, because in attack he's great. He needs that defensive spark. He's played 2 games against Betis. He's gifted them 4 points. So Spina needs something more in defense. And then in the middle, I think CAMARA has to start. I've said this. If CAMARA doesn't start, Jose's a dumbass. And I hate saying this, but CAMARA has to start this game. And then I think you probably be surprised, because I would 100% start Matic. But apparently Matic is not 100% fit. He's not injured, but he isn't 100% fit. Part of that is due to that terrible injury he had, which he played on. It's not an injury, it's just a bad itch. And another thing is Matic, let's not forget Matic's age. So I think Matic, even if he isn't 100% fit, he needs a rest. So Cristante will start next to CAMARA, in my opinion. Pellegrini and Nico will start behind Tammy Abraham. Again, El Shaarawy, and I would give El Shaarawy a call-up. I would give El Shaarawy a chance. I would 100% give El Shaarawy a chance. I want to give El Shaarawy a chance. But I'll be very honest with you, I want Pellegrini to start this game, because I think this is a classic game where Pellegrini can get back scoring. Mark my words. This, against these sides, it's the classic games where Pellegrini can pull that masterclass and score. And he's living, I wouldn't say a similar situation to Tammy, because Tammy's worse than Pellegrini right now. But I think Pellegrini, just like Tammy, needs a goal. He just needs a confidence boost by scoring. He needs that goal. Just like Tammy, just like Nico, in fact. So I think this is a classic game where Nico, Tammy, or Pellegrini can score if they play. Pellegrini. I'm going to say Pellegrini. And again, I'll say this, if anyone likes betting here, Pellegrini. I'm stuck with this Pellegrini, and I'm going to say Pellegrini because I feel like Pellegrini will score. There's just this vision which I see, which Pellegrini will get back scoring against Sampdoria on Monday. So remember this, Pellegrini to score. So yeah, this is my predicted 11. It's gonna be a game, again, where not having Dybala will give us deja vus from last season. Because Sampdoria are going to try and steal something, but at the end of the day, I do think they're going to park the bus most of the game. So not having Dybala limits your creativity. And last season, it was so difficult for us to score against these sides. It's already hard for us to score. You play against teams which park the bus. Without Dybala, it's even harder for us. It's going to be a low-scoring game. And that's why my prediction is a 1 scrappy 0 win. I think it's going to be someone like Cristante or Pellegrini to score. Someone who doesn't score for quite a long while. And I'm going to go a low-scoring game because I think the way the two teams are established, I don't know. I just see a low-scoring game. But yeah. Right, let me read some comments and then I will end the stream. Stubborn Jose won't start CAMARA or Bove, Simon. I'm sorry to tell you. Yeah, I mean, again, if he doesn't, he's stubborn. He's just stubborn if he doesn't. CAMARA changed the Betis game. CAMARA has to start. Hi, Simon. I'm out of the plates behind the. Oh, nice. I always wanted us to sign Caputo. I think Caputo's bang average. Right, I've jinxed it. He'll probably score against us now, but Caputo's bang average. He's just good against. I'm not going to say anything, okay? Let's talk about Caputo on the match reaction because we don't want to jinx anything here. And especially because unluck has been with us for quite a long while. So let's leave any criticisms toward Caputo until after the game because I can see him turning up just after I said this. Pellegrini's been shit. He needs bench for El Shaarawy. I agree, but I think, as I said before, this is a classic Pele game. Would be a mistake to play Karsdorp this soon. Pellegrini might not play in the mid with Cristante and El Shaarawy plays up top. Interesting. A lot of people saying El Shaarawy to start. Who knows? Maybe this is El Shaarawy's chance. I'm starting to lose faith that we ever see an attacking, flowing football with Jose, no matter who's on the pitch. He's too tactical and not one that makes his team play attractive football, says Mescabar. I mean, as long as we win, I don't care how we play, but we have to win. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you tomorrow. Again, I really don't think Mourinho will go live for his press conference. It's normally like this. If he goes live on Thursday, then it's very hard to see him go live literally like 3 days later. So either way, we'll find something to talk about tomorrow. If you haven't already, make sure to smash that subscribe button, smash the like button. Come back on Monday at 6:30 p.m. Italian time, 5 p.m. UK time for the live watch along. You do not want to miss it. It's a very important game, as I just said. Follow me on Instagram over here, over at Simon Lower Score, ASR Lower Score, and comment in the comments your own predicted 11. I'll be very curious to read and respond to all of your comments. And I'll catch you very, very soon. 24 hours, and we'll see each other again. Simon out.